as well as Gorham Savings Bank, you're in the right place. We've had a great morning thus far. We've had 3 or 4 great sessions. As we're moving into the noon hour, we're very fortunate to have our next presenter. It's Donna Davidge from Sewall House Yoga Retreat. And she's going to take us through about 20 or 25 minutes of some meditation and calming exercises for the mind and the body. So with that said, I would be happy to turn things over to Donna.
Hi there, Tom. Can you hear me?
Can hear you fine.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your introduction. I'm really happy to be here. I wish I had more time myself today to get on this entire summit because the last 10 minutes was really interesting. And I'm glad I got into that because it did help the segue into what we're going to do here. So I'm up in northern Maine and running a teacher training right now with just a couple of people during COVID. So my days are long and filled, but I'm really happy to be here doing this today. So for the people that are participating, I got from the last speaker that there's no interaction, which is fine because we only have a short time. I don't know whether you're in a place, each one of you, where you can lie down or sit down, but either one of those will do for what we're going to do today. And I also don't know from the participants who there might have different types of meditation that they are already doing. But what I'd like to do today is a form of yoga nidra. And yoga nidra means sleep, though I don't want people necessarily to go to sleep. It is definitely a technique to release physical, mental, and emotional stress. And the little bit that I got of our last talk is it is a time to try to simplify. And so our mantra here at Sewall House is simplicity in a complex world, and that can't be more pertinent. So I'm going to invite people to either sit up tall if they're in a chair in the summit. I don't want people to slouch because they won't be in the meditation. So if you could sit up perhaps a little bit towards the edge of your chair and have your eyes closed. If you do have the option, the opportunity to lay on your back and you're familiar with Shavasana, the corpse pose, this is simply laying on your back in stillness. And you do want to be comfortable in either position. So if you're laying on your back and you, for example, can feel your lower back, it doesn't feel so good, then have your feet on the floor. Some of you may not be dressed or in an appropriate area to lay down, so sitting is fine. I've taught this both places. I used to teach it on a weekly basis at the Federal Reserve Bank, which is kind of an interesting thing in terms of what is going on now in New York City. But anyway, that said, we're going to get started. And whether you're seated or laying down, again, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. There's a couple basic rules in this meditation. It is a guided meditation. And that is as best you can, and it's easier when you're seated probably, but it's more relaxing when you're laying down, as best you can to keep your mind with my voice and follow the instructions. This is a really scientifically proven way to relax your physical body and then through the breath and some visualization. So just doing the best you can to stay with me and to follow the instructions. They are not difficult. Secondarily, if you're in a position now that feels comfortable, see if you think you can stay there. If you think you need to make any final adjustments, scratch your nose, adjust your shirt or anything, take a moment to do that now. It's not necessary, but it's also nice to enter into the space of yoga or meditation with something specific. Sometimes it's a thought, sometimes it's a wish, and sometimes it's a little sound. So if you've done yoga or meditation before, you're probably very familiar with Om. So we're going to do one Om. You can join in with me or not. I will do it. It's 3 sounds, A, U, and M. And we'll just do it once together. So if you're going to join in with me, get ready to do that now. Just take a nice inhale through the nose. Good. And then again, keeping your eyes closed, which I'm actually doing too, because I don't need to see any of you. Just take another nice inhale now through the nose. And exhale. For those of you sitting in a chair, one final note, perhaps you already realize this, but if your legs are crossed, please uncross them. And if you can place your feet on the floor, that's useful. Your hands will be resting on your thighs if you're on a chair, and by your side if you're on the floor, because we are going to start with a little physical body scan. Before we start the physical body scan, I'm going to invite you to bring into your heart and mind some kind of a desire that you have. And I'm going to invite you to make that desire a little bit broad, right? So let's say you want to take better care of yourself. A lot of us are sheltering in place, and some of us are having more constructive habits doing that, and some of us are having more destructive habits. So perhaps think of a habit that you'd like to improve or change. That might be a good desire. And just take a moment to plant the seed of that desire in you silently. Good. We're going to leave the seed behind, but we will come back to it at the end of this practice. And some of you may have done this before. Even if you haven't, I'll tell you what we call that. We call that a resolve or a sankalpa. So you've just offered your sankalpa. We're going to start the body scan now. And once again, just follow my voice without moving. If you have to move, of course, that's okay. But see if you can be still. We're going to start by drawing your awareness to your right hand. Whether your palm is facing up or down, doesn't matter. Just draw attention to your hand. And relax the fingers of your hand. Relax the back of your hand and the palm of your hand. Now, this is no change in movement, just sending the intention of relaxation to that hand. And then we're going to go over and relax our left hand. So with the intention of relaxing all the fingers. And then drawing the awareness for a moment to your breath. So both of your hands are already relaxing. And if you can, breathe in and out through your nostrils. Slowing the breath, deepening the breath, but please no forcing of that deepening and lengthening, just allowing the breath. And if you're laying on your back, it's going to be really simple. If you're seated, perhaps a little more challenging, but extremely possible. Good. And now as we proceed with this body scan, you can even think of sending some of the energy of the breath to the body part that we are focusing on and relaxing. So now draw your awareness to your right arm, the entire right arm, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and the entire left arm, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. I invite you to relax both arms, hands, and all your fingers simultaneously, keeping your focus on relaxing the body parts as mentioned. And now drawing your awareness to your right foot, whether you're lying on your back or seated in a chair. And relax the toes of your right foot, the top of your right foot, and the bottom or sole of your right foot. Moving your awareness over to the left foot, relax all the toes of your left foot, top of the left foot, bottom of the left foot. Relaxing both feet together. And then moving up the right leg from the ankle, lower leg, right knee, upper leg, into the hip socket. left ankle, lower leg, knee, upper leg, into the hip socket. Relaxing both of your legs simultaneously, all the way down to the tips of your toes. We're now going to focus on releasing the back body. And in yoga, we believe that the back is where we will things. And so a lot of us are having to kind of go through a lot these days. And so we store a lot of that in the back of the body. We will it. We will ourselves to be strong. We will ourselves to get through this. So let's release some of that. Start with an awareness, the heels of your feet, moving up the back of your legs, into both of your buttocks, into the low back muscles. And the buttocks and the low back muscles are large muscles, so they can hold a lot of our emotional, physical, or mental tension. So let them relax. And then the mid back. And then the upper back. The entire back. Shoulders, neck, sides of the neck. Moving to the front of the body, the throat. Soften your throat. Draw your awareness down the front of your body, the front of your arms, and then down the front of your torso from your chest area, where a lot of us also hold a lot of stress. So relax the chest. And as you relax the breath down into your belly, this will help the entire body and that front body to relax. Relax your waistline, your hips and groin, and down the front of your legs to the tops of your feet and the tips of your toes. And whether you're sitting or lying down, relax your whole body. Allow that slow, deep breath, that yogi breath, that meditative breath to help your body relax. And then to complete this body scan, we just had a talk about the reptilian brain. We're going to move up to the head. Let's relax first our face. Oh, so many things we can relax here. The jaw, we hold a lot of emotional tension there sometimes. The chin, the mouth, the tongue, the nose, the eyes resting in stillness in the socket, like a little bed. The eyelids, the eyebrows, and the space between your eyebrows. The entire forehead, both temples, both ears, your skull, and finally, the contents of your skull. Relax your brain. As you feel your physical body, your entire body relaxing, draw your awareness back to your breath. And now we're going to go for a little mental focus as we lay on our back or sit straight in our chair. As we draw the awareness to our breath, each of us is going to count our breath backwards. Really simple. We're going to start with 9, so that's going to be real simple. You're just going to inhale through the nostrils, thinking the number 9, and exhale through the nostrils, thinking the number 9. Continue on your own, counting back next to 8. If you reach 0, start again. And now stop your counting. As you inhale, try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Allow the breath to enter the belly. Breathing out. And again, see if you can allow the shoulders to stay relaxed. And as you breathe in this time, breathe in coolness and calmness. As you breathe out, release anything that is no longer serving you well. One more breath like this into the belly, bringing in the new possibilities, new life, new realities. As you exhale through the nose, releasing the old. And now continue to relax, either seated with your spine straight or laying on your back. I'm going to name a few objects. As I name these objects, just see them in your imagination, in your mind's eye, as I take you from one object to the next. A double rainbow. A cat reposing. A bed of roses. A vast ocean, very calm, very clear. A small golden egg. A flickering candle. Sandy bank of a wide river. Yourself lying on the floor in relaxation. See yourself, even if you are not laying down, lying on the floor in relaxation. See the clothes that you're wearing today. And just sense yourself relaxing a little more. And then drawing your awareness back to the breath. And in a few moments, we're going to draw our awareness back to that resolve, our sankalpa, that desire that you created for yourself in the beginning of this meditation. And this time, repeat it to yourself from a place of conviction, from your heart, with deep intention, 3 times. Feel it. Now, in a few moments, we're going to get ready to come out of this experience. But before we do, I just want to say a little bit about this practice. This is a type of meditation that brings our brain into the theta state. And if you know anything about the brain and the theta state, it's a very receptive state. So ideally, we don't fall asleep, but we get into that very relaxed state. And oftentimes we do this practice for about 40 to 45 minutes, but the shorter versions are 15 to 20 minutes. So those can also be very relaxing and effective. I actually have a shorter version, about 15-minute version, and about a 40-minute version that I've actually recorded and people can listen to. And people find it very useful for particularly PTSD, which they use a lot with veterans. Keeping your eyes closed. I'm just taking you out of it. Don't come out yet. And also these days, I've also read about the fact, and again, I've missed the summit today because I'm working, but we are going to have emotional, if we're not already, ramifications. So more than ever, finding tools for things like PTSD that we might be resulting in for some of us as a matter of this time that we're in. This is also useful for people who are having problems sleeping, even though you're not supposed to fall asleep. It does bring you into that very relaxed place. And now I'm going to bring us out of it the same way that I brought us into it. And that is going to be with the Om. If you are laying on your back, you can just take your time and just move your body a little bit to start to come back into movement. If you're seated, we're just going to stay seated for a few moments. And I'm going to go ahead and chant that vibration Om again. If you want to sense a little bit more calmness, particularly those that are seated, you're going to bring your palms together. This is a gesture to join harmony between the left and the right side of our body. And you're going to bring the thumbs into the center of the chest, which is the area of our body for calmness, for courage. Both of those things serve us all the time, but particularly in this time that we're in. And we'll end with an Om. And I don't know, Tom, if anyone asks questions about meditation, but if anybody would want to, I am available. Here we go. We're going to inhale, and then we will exhale with the vibration. Om. Inhale. For those of you who took the time to give yourself this self-care and to stay on the call, I'm deeply grateful to have this opportunity today. And I send you healing vibrations to you and your clients. If you don't know about me, I purchased my great-grandfather's home in 1997. He was Theodore Roosevelt's nature guide, and they made lifelong friends over the fact that they both believed in nature a lot. And Teddy Roosevelt actually healed from lifelong asthma in this old historic house that I now run as a small intimate yoga retreat. So I thank you for being in my yoga studio with me, which is an attached shed that used to hold cords of wood. And we've transformed it for the modern day weary traveler who needs to heal. So may you have a blessed day, all of you, and thank you. Namaste.